Can I level with you real quick? Um, I have been staring at this camera and microphone setup for a while now. Um, Mostly because I'm nervous, mostly because I'm a perfectionist, mostly because I have self doubt, mostly because, good glory, I've been here before. And here we go again, starting another ADHD passion project, which I've done in the past, and what makes me think it's going to be any different this time. Welcome to the inside of my head. Little bit about the Scratchpad podcast, which is what you are listening to right now or watching if you're looking at YouTube. The Scratchpad came out as an idea based on forcing myself to do what I can with what I've got instead of waiting around for things to be perfect. My name is Steve. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. If not, great, we're starting from a fresh slate. This could be a great podcast. You have high hopes right now. For those of you that know me, know that you know that I've probably talked to you sometime in the last 5, 6, maybe 10 years about the idea of I'm going to record an album of songs I've written, and it's going to be great. And then the next time you see me, a couple years down the road, oh man, I'm really thinking about starting that album. It's going to be great. And then make a little bit of progress, start up a YouTube channel, crank out some regular videos, get distracted by life, come back to it. Man, I'm going to start up that YouTube channel again. I'm going to record an album. And the Scratchpad, the brand or name of the Scratchpad, was a way of reminding myself I don't have to have a number of things to get started. I don't have to have professional audio training. I don't have to have the perfect setup. I don't have to know how to master songs. I don't have to have all the time in the world to make everything perfect or cut together a whole bunch of editing. I don't have to have this long list of things that I have established in my head as reasons I can't right now. But boy howdy, if I could just get this one thing out of my way, then it'll be easy. Like if I could just buy like a MacBook Pro and Logic for a digital audio workstation, that's like what the pros use for recording audio. And so then I got that. and then used it for work, but didn't use it for any of the audio stuff that I wanted to do, like recording an album. Have I told you? I'm working on an album. It's going to be great. So then I was like, oh, well, you know what I really need is I need an audio interface, a bunch of XLR cables, quarter-inch cable. Everything can be plugged directly into that interface. It's super easy. I've watched hundreds of YouTube videos about it, because that's what you do when you're ADHD and hyperfixating on how to do something instead of actually doing it. So that's what I need, and then I need a mic stand. I need a microphone. What's the best microphone? Ooh, we should research that. And then I get into this self-defeating cycle of working on something but not actually doing anything. And so the Scratchpad was born. The Scratchpad is an extremely stripped down version of my songs. These are the songs that I've written with just my guitar and my voice, not with all of the fancy production tips and all that. None of this perfection, just a guitar and a voice. If I can just record a guitar and my voice on my iPhone, currently hooked into one external mic. I've got a Blue Yeti. It's one of my purchases that I made a long time ago when I would just needed one more piece of gear. Just going to use that. iPhone, Blue Yeti, guitar, pick, voice. And I'm terrified. Because I don't have excuses. I have everything I need, And I've been sitting here freaked out to hit the record button because what if? What if I put myself out there, put my music out there? My music is written for my soul. And people are like, oh, cool, okay, whatever, and never care. Is that why I'm doing it? Do I need people's adulation, applause, recognition? No, I don't. It's just taken me a long time to remember that. The Scratchpad is my songs as I wrote them, putting it out there. And like I said, I'm terrified. So it makes sense that I would start off with a song I wrote about this very feeling. It's called If. And the lyrics are as follows. Tell me what would happen if I gave up altogether and I tried to swim in my own sea of blue. Would I really make it, or would I just try and fake it and go nowhere useful, just like I always do? You see, I'm standing on the edge of something bigger than I've ever been, and I'm afraid to move, because if I trip and fall again, I might never get up again if I trip and fall again. I'm standing on a tight line of religious design with a move to make, whether wrong or for right. Should I leave my stance up to happenstance, or reach up to heaven and take your ever-waiting hand? Because I'm standing on the edge of something bigger than I've ever been, and I'm afraid to move, because if I trip and fall again, I might not ever get up again if I trip and fall again. So, without further ado or explanation, this is where the Scratchpad starts, with an expression of fear and trepidation and minor hope. And I hope you enjoy it. Tell me what would happen if I gave up altogether and I tried to swim in my own sea of blue. Would I really make it? Would I try and fake it and go nowhere useful, just like I always do? I'm standing on a tight line of religious design with a move to make, whether wrong or for right. Should I leave my stance up to happenstance, or reach up to heaven, take your ever-waiting hand? And I'm standing on the edge of something bigger than I have ever been. I'm afraid to move, cause if I trip and fall again, I might not ever get up again. If I trip and fall again, yeah, I trip and fall again. I'm standing on a tight line of religious design with a move to make, whether wrong or for right. Should I leave my stance up to happenstance, or reach up to heaven, take your ever-waiting hand? And I'm standing on the edge of something bigger than I have ever been. I'm afraid to move, cause if I trip and fall again, I might not ever get up again. And I'm standing on the edge of something bigger than I have ever been. I'm afraid to move, cause if I trip and fall again, I might not ever get up again. If I trip and fall again, yeah, I trip and fall again. There we go. There's the first one. If I trip and fall again. I even think I sang that wrong because I'm so nervous, but I told myself I was not going to start this and then stop it and then go back and re-record it. Why? Not because I don't care about quality, but because this is the Scratchpad. This is the rough draft. You get to hear my songs before I produce them, before anybody in this entire world gets to hear my songs that I hear in my head, you get to hear how they sound with just a guitar and my voice. Because what is in my head is a fully produced, epic, I would like to think, version of these songs. But if I don't get the raw data out there, then I'll never start. This is a starting point. Thanks for joining me. My goal is going to be to get one of these out every 2 weeks. One of my songs every 2 weeks to you. And then in between, be playing around with a little bit of social media, telling people about this, telling people about music, kind of building my brand as an artist around a regular job and a business, on top of or beneath being married, being a dad, being a member of my church. So around all of that is a place I can start. Thanks for joining me. See you in 2 weeks.